The instant garage needs to be installed on smooth grass.
All right, well, this is as good a spot as any. Woo! Blowing.
All right, Rich and I are headed out to check out the shelter we received. It came in the mail about 2 weeks ago, but as you can see, it's been snowing for literally
Pretty much every day. And really cold.
It does look pretty though. Richie is using the ATV with the plow on the front because we haven't yet had a chance to get the snowblower on the front of the tractor. But here he comes.
All right, well, this is the second little snowstorm that we had here for the season so far. The snow came fast this year. We weren't ready yet.
We did have one day when everything started to defrost, so Richie got out there with the tractor in the pouring rain and tried to level an area for the shelter. But of course, by the next day, it was snowing again. And it snowed, and then it snowed, and then it snowed some more.
Today's one of the nicest days that we've had in a long time. So today's the day we're going to try and put that thing up.
Yeah, and not only that, it's supposed to get nasty again all weekend. They're calling for another storm.
Another winter storm warning coming tomorrow.
We've had another similar shelter here for a few years now, but for the last 2 years, it's been necessary to cover it with a tarp to prevent leaks. So we were in the market for another shelter to store some of our important equipment out of the snow. But since that shelter was really expensive and didn't last as long as we hoped, we had decided against buying one. So when Vevor offered us this shelter in exchange for an honest review, we were more than happy to take them up on it.
Here's the directions.
The instant garage needs to be installed on smooth grass.
Oh, that's not happening.
In bad weather, the instant garage needs to be put away. It is not recommended to use in snowy conditions. Well, we don't have a choice, so we're gonna make it happen.
Yes, we are.
All right, well, this is as good a spot as any. I cleared out this little area over here. It doesn't look that bad. It seems pretty sturdy, actually. It's just about as sturdy as any other one you would see out there. It weighs about 87 pounds altogether in the box. This is the tarp that's going over the top. It's a pretty heavy material. I'm gonna guess around 9 mil. The directions are pretty clear and easy. Everything is clearly labeled and marked, so it's just a matter of putting together the puzzle. Everything is grouped according to the label, which is nice. These are the feet. 2 into 2A. C. Two A. It's going to be easy once we get rolling with this. So 2. This one took a hit here, got a little damaged. a little bit bent. I'm going to straighten it out with a hammer. All right, this was the bent one. We were able to straighten it out with the hammer, a little bit of pliers. It's fixed. It's really so easy. I mean, they're not a super heavy gauge steel, but it looks like it might be galvanized. The foot is put together a little bit on an angle, so there it'll sit flat on the ground, something like that. I think there's pins that go in here. See how the hole is close to the edge of the pipe? That's where the foot goes. If you look at this hole, it's much further up. Bolt goes in from the outside. I'm going to tighten those up. All right, the directions want you to put it together in a way where you're only putting half the leg on first, and to make it easier to get the tarp over the top. I think I'm going to do that. I was going to do it the other way and use a ladder and stuff, but Kathie's not here to help me, so I'm just going to try and get this done. Putting it down low might make it easier. I was trying to keep it out of the snow. Before I put the top on, I'm going to see if I can just position it a little bit more the way I want it to be. I'm not sure how that is. .14mm. Don't make them too tight where you're gonna crush the pipe. Try to put the canopy on. Actually feels pretty heavy. Yeah, I'm glad I left the legs off it. I got the tarp oriented properly across the top. I'm gonna go in. The wind is starting to pick up now. I gotta hurry. All right, so they give you these little bungee buckles that go like that around the tube. We're gonna put them on quick. We're gonna be in for something here. Better really get this thing anchored soon. Woo! It's blowing. Put one over here. Hold that. Let's go get the bracing. What you gotta do, slide this through this little pocket. We'll make our adjustments later because this will move up and down a little and tighten it up, see? So you can see the little bracket holds that to the pipe. Pipe goes through the little pocket. And then we're going to connect it over there also. Alright, before we tighten anything up, we got to do the other side. All right, so I got down to the last one here, and I'm like, why won't the bolt go through? It turns out they didn't drill a hole through the other end of this pipe. So I don't know, I just grabbed a bit that looks about the right size. It's a 17/64, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drill through it. Tighten it up. I'm going to do that on all of them. Little rubber bungees are going to go through not only the main part of the tarp, but it's also going to go through this tarp, so I have to take all them off and put them through one by one.
Oh.
But that's easy enough.
All right.
Great, I like the little vent.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we don't have perfectly level ground, but we're working with what we can do here. And once Richie gets it secured, we're going to use rebar with the feet. Where are the feet? Are they on?
Feet are on.
Oh, they just disappeared in the mud.
I like that though.
Yeah, that is kind of good. Holding it down with some cement blocks for now because time's up. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Richie has to
right
go.
on the foot, which is good.
Yeah, all right. Richie has to go back to work, so.
So these are the stakes they supplied with the unit.
How are those, like what, 5 inches?
Yeah, these are your average little, I don't even know, little kind of tent stakes. And these would be the stakes that you use to
For the feet?
tie the ropes in the corners.
Oh.
And the rope to supply that they supplied
I like the rope though. We can use that.
to tie the top corners and the the 2 front corners and the 2 back corners. This is what we're going to use. It's just a little bit longer than these.
It's rebar though. That's longer and stronger. What is that, 1/2 inch?
1/2 inch.
Okay. That's left over from our build.
Right. We have tons of rebar scraps around
Love
here.
it.
That's it. There's the good, the bad, the ugly.
And
All the above.
you have to make modifications based on where you live. And this is where we live.
Yep.
Rocky, wet, snowy, muddy, windy.
So far, so good. Time will tell.
On that. little vent. It's actually important because we get condensation in these things. That's why I put the tarp down on the bottom floor.
What's your first impression after building this whole thing?
Goes together real easy. Took me, I don't know, a couple hours. I had a little bit of issue with the mud that it's sitting in, so that made it a little difficult, especially in the back end. The material is just a little heavier than your average tarp, I think. It's got like a slippery feel to it. They say that it is UV resistant. You know, I'm sure it'll hold up for a year or two. I thought it might have a door on the back side, but it doesn't, so it's only a one door unit. It's got some galvanized steel tubing. It's pretty stout. Snaps together with these little push pins, which makes it really fast. I'm not a big fan of these bungees, but in the future I could just replace those with some heavy duty zip ties. I like the fact that they give you some extras. I also had a couple of extra bolts, so I definitely didn't run out of anything. I like the fact that it has this little skirt going around the bottom here to help shed water. I think it's definitely worth the price, absolutely.
Yeah, it's half the price of the other brand that will not be named.
Right, we know what they cost. It definitely fits our needs, that what we needed to do, and we thank you, Vevor, for sending it to us for a review.